So here's my today's trade recap. I took an L, but I also took a W. My L did outweigh my win, which usually doesn't happen, but I upped my risk since I like the setup, and I honestly had a mental mistake. But coming into the day, we were using this 4-hour bearish for value gap as our condition, but we were leaning a lot more towards bearish because we just had a lot of built up LR and we were respecting a daily gap. Therefore, I was leaning more towards bearish. So, but I did want us to see us manipulate higher, sweeping data highs or maybe tapping into Asia highs and getting into a discount range, therefore taking a continuation short. But we did not get that clean of a move. We didn't manipulate at all up, so I was bearish this rest of the day, so I was just looking for a continuation short. But I wasn't opposed to taking a mechanical long that would be super obvious. And that is what ended up happening. I thought after sweeping all of that low resistance liquidity that once we swept the final drawn liquidity until this 4 hour down here, which was around 150 points, I thought we might have had to rebalance this range that we made on the way down. Therefore, I was wanting to take a long that would target a unmitigated gap to send us lower, which mechanically it makes sense. But once we swept this internal low, I did not see these equal lows down here, which is a great draw on liquidity. Yes, these were the equal lows that got left around yesterday actually, and then a lot of traders took that long. But I do not want to trade against these equal lows. I just didn't know it at the time, and that is a mental mistake, and I did pay for that. But I journaled it, so now I will know. But anyway, we did get a V-shaped recovery out of this internal low, and we were also displacement candle of 53 points. So I had to take this knowing that to send us lower, we have really no signs because we'd be respecting this fair value gap or any the lower time frame fair value gap such as a 1 minute or 30 second, and we were inverting all of them. Therefore, I was leaning more towards bearish so we could hit this imbalance and then send us lower, maybe to this 4 hour. But shit happens. So I took this 2 minute inversion and I don't think I seen an ounce of profit. I got stop rated pretty quickly. My stop loss is right here. Even though it was an SMT with ES, I just had my stop here. I don't know. I'd like the risk to reward a little bit better. But yeah, so I got stopped out there, and then we end up hitting these equal lows, and then this leads me to my next trade. Once we open up a 15, I think the 15 was right around here. Yeah, the 15 was right here. All right, so then we open up a 15, and then we get a 3 minute ifvg. So now we are still holding that SMT with ES, and then we have a 15-minute unmitigated, and we swept the draw on liquidity down here, these equal lows. So I knew price was bound to go up, and this is the mechanical long that you want to be looking for. If we get another very strong displacement candle V-shaped recovery out of these equal lows, and we really don't have any selling pressure until this 4 hour since we haven't hit a imbalance yet, then I'm super confident, especially if we're inverting lower time frame fair value gaps. So I ended up taking this 3 minute long, and it played out in my favor. I was going to take it all the way up to this 5 minute unfilled, which was like around here, but I just took my piece of pie. I was already down for the day. So, yep, that's my trade recap for today. And if you took shorts up here, because I know there's a 5 minute inversion somewhere. Let's see, yeah, right here, close to market open. It was a pretty good short. I know a lot of traders who took this they had here, and they thought data highs was protected since it was in a 4-hour P rate and it was an SMT, which is correct, and they hit to full TP. Could have targeted down here, but yep, that's a really good trade actually. And yeah, that would be the only IFVG setups I would have taken today.